Hello, everybody. Welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and this is going to be the Twin Astrology forecast for the week ahead for the Twin Flame Collective. Keep in mind, though, timing and energy is still fluid. This is all going to be dependent on where you are at your own personal journey and which timeline you're currently on. But we do have some big energies this week, leading up to the full moon in Capricorn in a week from today in my local area. And so we're going to briefly talk about some of these energies, and then I'm going to share with you some messages that came through from my guides over the last week. And I know I've kind of been not very present on the channel over the last week, but it's been a crazy, wild week. I've had so many hurdles, challenges, unexpected repairs needing to be done on the house. I actually had the bathroom upstairs, all the piping needed to be replaced from the upstairs bathroom to the downstairs bathroom last week. I had some pipes break, and so I had a big watery mess on my hands last week, and so that took up a couple days and took up a whole big chunk of money, unexpected expenses. And so I was shown by the guides that was kind of like a mere representation of the insides of the divine masculine and how they've bottled up all of these emotions, and it's kind of ready to burst. And so that's kind of how it works for my journey. What's going on externally for me when it comes to these challenges, because I'm so rooted and earthed and grounded in reality, is a clear indication of an emotional struggle on the counterpart's end. And so we have Mercury entering into Cancer today. And so we are at the anaretic degree right now, currently with Mercury and Gemini at 29 degrees. And so whenever things get to the 29 degree or the 0 degree, it really does complicate a lot of things. And we've got some intense aspects with Mercury before it goes into Cancer. And so the energy has this serious dark intensity to thoughts, is what I'm feeling with the Gemini theme. We also have the moon in Libra, and so themes of injustice, relationships are coming up. And so you might find it very hard in the energies today and over the next coming days when it comes to thinking clearly and communicating directly and clearly. But this really is a great energy to do some research, some investigation. There's this dark sense of curiosity being sparked, I feel, in the Twin Flame Collective this week. And so we also have an inconjunct aspect with the moon in Libra to Jupiter. And so this really opens up this higher understanding of others and just general life itself. So we do need to allow others to journey their own personal journey. And, a lot of the times it feels like we're being thrown off a cliff and we never know where we're going to end up. But usually we always land on our feet, right? And so I do feel right now the masculine's looking at his situation, and he's so far away from where he expected or where he, said he would be at this point in time. And so there's a lot of confusion, I feel, when it comes to that. And so with the Saturnian aspects playing out as well, this is about structure, discipline, reliability, and how can we understand others if we don't go within and understand ourselves first, right? Because when we understand ourselves, then we can understand others, and we can understand all of these energies put together at once for that unity consciousness. And so I do feel the energies today are really proving to be difficult when it comes to maintaining a level of balance, especially when it comes to karmic, intimate relationships, because of this almost like this underlying sense of like an emotional coldness. And that's due to a lot of the masculines having this feeling of guilt and fear when it comes to the responsibilities of the twin flame connection. And so there's like a heavy workload ahead for a lot of these divine masculines, which I feel is causing an overwhelming sense of anxiety and stress, especially when it comes to all of these limitations that they've kind of put on themselves. And so that's proving to be a little bit difficult, I feel. And so I know over the last week, it's been a lot of internal work as well, as I've kind of been completely pulled back from the telepathy and the twin flame journey is what it feels like. And so I know for myself, we ask ourselves all of these questions because usually the divine feminine is the awakened counterpart first, and it can be years before the unawakened twin kind of awakens to this connection on the heart. And so it can be so hard, right? We have all these questions like, how long will the counterpart stay unawakened after the recognition on the divine feminine's end? And so we often ask ourselves, what is the purpose of the one twin awakening before the other? Kitty really wants to get in on this reading, right? And we ask ourselves over and over and over again, why is my twin flame not waking up? Can we force them to wake up? Because we can't, right? Because they're entitled to utilize their free will in this human existence. And so we often are left at rock bottom questioning why the counterpart cannot recognize this true divine connection that we share. And it kind of feels like a lot of the feminines get stuck doing all of the work. And I believe truly there is some type of predetermined destiny point where the twin will likely wake up due to all of the cosmic energies that are playing out. And so I do feel a lot of the masculines are in the awakening process. And I do feel the feminines are just being asked to stay patient and to stay centered and to stay grounded. I know I've had many divine feminines ask me throughout the years, can I tell them that they're my twin flame? Are they going to freak out? And I highly recommend against telling this person that you recognize them as your twin flame, because that might kind of scare them a little bit because of the intensity of the energy exchange that the twins do share. And so we do have to be patient. We do have to allow the divine masculines to kind of figure this out themselves, like we've had to kind of figure this out ourselves. I do wholeheartedly believe that they will remember the truth and come back to you. But we have a lot of inner work to do as well throughout this journey. We have to work to discover our intuitive gifts and to understand all of like the universal signals that kind of get thrown on our path. We also have to play a role in this manifestation of union coming to fruition. We are on a spiritual awakening journey. And so technically we're kind of all operating in this uncharted sea, this uncharted territory. And so there really is no solid answers when it comes to the twin flame connection. It is a spiritual experience that we chose to go on this lifetime, and we chose to understand that we would have what it takes to pay attention to the subtle influences and guidance in the spiritual realms that is constantly trying to reach the twins in this uncharted sea. And so it is a journey of trusting and following our own intuition. And it's tricky, right? We can't really pin down a certain period of time of upheaval, although there are indications within a birth chart of moments of genesis, or 0 points is what I like to call it, that do indicate some form of upheaval or shakeup or understanding of oneness. And I know things have been very heavy and very dark. And as the saying always goes, it usually is always darkest before the breakthrough or the dawning of this new energy. And so I do feel a lot of us are on track, but we're kind of questioning, right? Questioning. And that's the Geminian energy coming through. And so angel numbers are always like a huge indication that we're kind of on track. And so repeating numbers, repeating sequences, for me lately, the angel number syncs have been mirroring syncs. And so 535, 434, 494, 151, 212, 101, 343, like all of these numbers have been in my face. 828, 252, 353, 696. I could go on and on. The syncs that I've been journaling about over the last week, while I haven't really had much of a chance to get on and channel the energies. And so we need to remember significant numbers that appear as signs and things, or repeating words, repeating sentences, or repeating songs, are all like a sign or a signal from the angelic realms to say, hey, you're on the right path. We're there. We're assisting you. You know, we send out this prayer. The feminine sends out the intention, sends out the prayer, sends out the manifestation idea of these unions. And the universe has to register it. And then we have to receive the guidance to understand that they are working on this with us, right? They're assisting us with this. And so I do feel we are at this very powerful crossroads, more so than any other time when it comes to these energies right now. And I feel with Mercury entering into Cancer, this is going to spark some more telepathy as well. Cancer is the energy of the mother. We have the full moon in Capricorn coming in a week from today, and that represents the father. And so the aspects kind of playing out this week are surrounding structure and discipline. Tomorrow we have Mercury sextile the North Node, and that's at 0 degrees 48. And so there's something about the 48, 49 number as well, as we can complete the 7-7-year cycles. And North Node energy is always an indication of some type of karma playing out. I always feel like skipped lessons, skipped steps. Because it is a sextile aspect, I do feel this is like a push when it comes to entering into the karmic pathway. And so the North Node being at that 0 degree as well, that energetical degree, we're kind of closing out this Taurus North Node energy, where many have been in these relationship cycles trying to preserve the status quo. Scorpio South Node does not like to let go very easily when it comes to an ending. I don't know a Scorpio that does like an ending. Same with Taurus, very fixed energy. And so I do feel this is a push for a reset of some sort. On Wednesday, I feel Wednesday is going to be a really big day. Actually, Wednesday is going to be a big day for me personally. My little one, Savvy, my baby, she has surgery booked that day out of town in London, and so prayers for Wednesday would be much appreciated. But we have the Sun trine Saturn, and with the Sun in Cancer, these are family themes coming up, and Saturn is about structure and discipline. And with Saturn in retrograde, we have to kind of go within to understand all of these Piscean themes. Saturn is naturally ruled by Capricorn, and we do have Pluto retrograde in Capricorn at the energetical degree as well, at that 29 degree. And so all of these previous lessons that we've either swept under the rug, we've been unwilling to look at, unwilling to change, these are all coming up. And what I've noticed looking into the astrology, we're dealing with a lot of fixed energy, the Leo energy, the Taurus energy, and we're dealing with a lot of mutable energy as well. We do have Venus in retrograde energy, Venus and Leo, and so this is all about the heart. We also have Mars still in Leo, and we have Mars conjunct Venus, and just before it's about to go exact, Venus is going to be going retrograde. And so Venus retrograde is all about relationships. And so are you being true to yourself? I feel a lot of the masculines are way off track. And we've got a lot of internal healing going on when it comes to the feminine collective as well, and healing the inner wounded feminine on the divine masculine's part, with Venus and Chiron aspects as well, and preparing for that North Node to go into Aries. And so we've got a lot of big pushes coming, especially with Neptune stationing retrograde nearing the end of the week. And so this is where we kind of have to break free from these illusions, these delusions, and we have to choose to manifest our best life, right? And so next weekend it's going to be Canada Day as well, where I'm at. And so Canada Day is also going to be a big day of shifts with the Sun conjunct Mercury. The Sun will be sextile Jupiter, and Mercury sextile Jupiter. And so I do feel all of these energies are bringing forward this push to prepare for this union that we have been striving towards. And so a lot of the feminines begin working on this intention. And I do feel now we're at this crossroads, right? I know a lot of the feminines are at this place of we're ready to give up on this twin flame connection, right? We're ready to give up. And for me, every time I decide I'm walking away, I'm giving this up, that's when I get the unexpected things, or I'll have an unexpected run-in with the counterpart. Because the universe is always working to bring us together to get us both back on track. And so I do feel we are so close to manifesting massive twin flame unions because it has been like this recent energy of like another death and rebirth process for a lot of the divine feminines. And so I do feel that's a clear indication of the masculines going through a more intense death and rebirth. And so I do feel right now we're so close to receiving this desired manifestation of reunion and these dreams coming true and receiving everything that it is that we've asked for from the universe. And so I do feel a lot of the feminines are feeling this response energetically from the universe saying, it's almost there, it's almost there. And so there's a lot being triggered out of our emotional body and our spiritual system when it comes to releasing anything that's still creating a block for this desired union. And so as within, so without is a big saying as well, right? When we pray for something, we also have to be willing to purge whatever is keeping us out of alignment with receiving those answered prayers. And so we are in this process, I feel, of going through another collective death and rebirth before reaching this tangibility of physical union. And so our energetic body, our spiritual body, our etheric body, we kind of have to go through this purging in our system to get back into this state of alignment of being able to receive. And so I know things are really feeling heavy right now, feeling dense. And I don't think it's going to last forever, but I don't think we're out of the woods when it comes to this heaviness that's been kind of coming in waves. So our system is basically trying to push us into this higher alignment. And so the heaviness has to come in order to let go of it so we can reach these higher states, right? And so we have to have that room. We have to make that room to receive the masculine. And so all of these, what I feel is these old identity aspects of self are coming up in our psyche, or our so-called shadow self is emerging. And so I do feel a lot of old friendships, a lot of old connections are kind of falling apart, falling away as part of this process. And I do feel the feminines usually flow through this purging process very easily. A lot of us do. We do experience, I know for myself in the beginning, I experienced the loss of all of my lifelong friendships, old friendships and connections, family, everything kind of had to be dismantled and it had to kind of fall apart as part of my processing. But I do feel we are so close to having this new energy coming in for this new chapter for the twins. And it does require a choice, though. We do have to choose the higher pathway. We all have a choice. We live in a world of duality and free will. And so I do feel as all of this processing is happening, the masculine is trying to check in with the feminine and he doesn't feel her energy anymore. There's no feeling of the feminine in and around the masculine. And so they got to figure out what it is that they really, truly do want, right? Are you really willing to see truthfully what it is that you want? And are you truly willing to release anything that is a block to making that decision, right? And so I do feel the masculines are being given a chance leading up to the full moon in Capricorn to kind of refine their life or their request to the universe and to make the appropriate changes for things to turn out the way that we had planned in these higher soul contracts this lifetime. I do feel the feminines are kind of feeling a little bit let down at this point in time and feeling like maybe we really don't have anything in common anymore because the feminine has been so far advanced and beyond the masculine. And so I do feel over the coming days, something might be showing up to serve as a mirror in order for us all to figure out specifically what it is that we need to clarify in our lives to manifest this something better, right? And so sometimes we can't see the masculine's perspective, or they can't truly see our perspective, or how truly amazing the possibilities are in these connections. And that's due to the confusion in the karmic contracts. And so we often have a very difficult, slow process when it comes to manifesting reunion or union, because I know for myself, the Gemini energy attached to the twins, it's the wavering of the intentions. One minute you want this, the next minute you don't. It feels kind of like a love-hate relationship at times. And so I do feel we have to be unwavering in our intentions. And I do feel right now a lot of the masculines are feeling triggered, right? I know I've stated many times out loud that I never want to see my counterpart again because of the pain of the breakup, of the separation. And so I do feel there's a lot of resistance being worked through in the energies this week, especially when it comes to our physical bodies. So we also have to go through the purging of the physical body because our DNA cells hold all of this ancient programming. And so because we're a soul living a human experience, we can't tap into the new programming until we clear our physical bodies of this old programming so we can evolve, right? So we've been manifesting out of survival programming for many ancestral generations. And so fear has been the main driving force collectively for many lifetimes. Our ancestors survived through a lot of fear-based timelines, and this has been passed on through our genetics, through our DNA. And so we all have an ancient part of us when it comes to our family, our bloodlines, our lineage. And when we step into this new energy, this new unmapped territory, we feel like we feel this energy of like we're in danger, and we're afraid because of the new, because we've not stepped into that. And so this is where we're overcoming the south node and stepping into the true north. And if you follow all of the awakening journey, they talk about the pole shift. And so we are shifting poles or polarities within our cellular body, within our DNA structure. We're breaking free from the south node comfort zones and patterns, and we're stepping into our true north, our true compass. And that is always going to be the heart. And so when we go into all of these unconscious faculties that lead to fear, we start to freak out, right? I remember how scary it was going through the Kundalini activation and the higher awareness. You freak out. And I know every time I feel like union is close and I feel like I've released and I have that run-in or the passing by with the counterpart, you kind of freak out a little bit because, oh my God, the manifestation is here. And then you can sense all of this energy, the vibration of this person is coming, something's coming, it's almost here, it's arriving, and then we freak out, right? We go back into our primal energy of feeling fear, feeling threatened. This isn't safe. I know it can lead to like hysteria, psychosis, paranoia, stress, because of all of this over-processing illogical worry. And it can create all kinds of irrational eruptions with our emotions as well. And so this is a clear indication of resistance to the change. So I know for me, whenever I feel like I've reached that state of alignment, Spirit's going to throw that person in my face to trigger another spiral or layer of clearing of this fear. And at one point in time, I was deathly afraid that this person, if I came into contact with them face to face, it would my body wouldn't be able to handle it and I would physically just die, right? Because of the intensity of the energies. And it's taken me years to clear that energetic intensity. And so we do this through our unconscious self as well, right? When we sense that it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, we will have some type of physical reaction because of the magnetic attraction that the twins do have, because it is an energetic experience. And I know the astral travel, the astral experiences too have really been saying, hey, reunion is coming. And so when you really pay attention to the unconscious mind and its patterns, that's when you can dig deeper, right, into this looking and searching for solutions. And if you lean into your intuition and take those steps you've been guided to take, it really does allow you to ascend a lot quicker, right? And then, your dreams, the numbers, the universe is constantly speaking with you. And when you understand the symbolic nature of the communion with spirit, that is when you really can receive all of these visions in full force, right? And so meditation, I feel, is going to help a lot of the divine feminines this week, because I do feel like how it works in the spiritual. I remember the void, like I went all the way past the 12th dimension into the void of all creation. And so that manifestation for me has already been received. It's just a matter of kind of me removing the blocks that have been shown through the messages I've received, right? And so a lot of us are feeling this energy of it's close, it's close, it's close. And so we have to release the fear of deserving this amazing feeling when it comes to manifesting this. And so pay close attention to your dreams and journal about your dreams and interpret the messages that are kind of trying to reach you at this important time, because I do feel a lot of clues are coming through in dream space. A lot of hints are coming through in dream space. So I know I've been seeing a lot of symbols and signs and things and numbers. It's this energy of like deja vu. So if you keep seeing even the repeated number 1111, it's saying it's time to remember. It's time to remember, right? That we've been here before. We've tried this manifestation before. We're re-experiencing the past life connection with the counterpart. And so whenever we go into these energies of like being in the flow, this is a significant indication that you're on track for your journey, right? Being in the flow, it feels like there's no blocks and you're just riding this ascension wave of joy and this feeling of light, and that you're progressing on this inner level intensely. And so it's this energy of you feel it's coming, but we got to clear the blocks as well. And so this is all part of the process, the synchronicities, the palpable signs that, hey, it's very, very close. This meeting is close. The counterpart is so close to reaching out to you. And so it feels like all the lights have kind of turned green. It's like driving across town and every stoplight you hit, it's like green light go. And you're just in the flow, right? It's like this magical journey through traffic while everybody else is stuck at the red lights. And so you might have maybe a friend from the past or an acquaintance from the past reach out over the week that might bring you some type of clue or information that you're going to need for the counterpart to show up at the right time. But I do feel nothing is by accident playing out leading up to this full moon. I do feel nothing right now is going to be coincidental, is how it feels. So let's pull in with some cards and see what needs to come through with the cards. I think we're going to start off with the Spiritual Journey Oracle deck today. We're going to just pull into the masculine first. And then we'll pull in to the feminine's energy. And we'll see where the twins are at when it comes to these energies for the week ahead. I know it was like thunderstorming here last night. We got a good downpour this morning. And so Mother Nature is also purging. So we'll dig into the Divine Masculine side first. There's the healing, the soul's DNA. So we are very close to manifesting these soul contracts, right? We do need to remember at the higher soul level, we did agree to incarnate together this lifetime because there is something we have to do for the collective, right? We're here to clear all of this programming this lifetime and to bring this greater awareness forward into the collective. And so manifestation energy. Oh, I got massive like heart stabbing pain as I went to grab the healing, the soul's DNA card. We do have live your purpose with igniting your passions on the masculine side, practice positivity and liberation. So this actually came out in reverse. So I do feel there is a lot of negative self-talk going on with the masculine right now, in order for them to recognize their limiting behaviors, their limiting self-talk, right? That has kept them stuck, stagnant, and depleted. And they are being encouraged to break those chains. A lot of the masculines play into addictions, whether it's alcohol, drugs, food, porn, sex, or even addicted to work, to not have to deal with the emotional restrictions and the emotional pain and the trauma of the separation. And so negative self-talk is what I do feel they do need to break free from. And we can be addicted to putting ourselves down as well. And so I do feel the feminine has recently sparked something in the divine masculine's heart. And I do feel they're looking at the feminine and her work and how she loves what she is doing, and overcoming the fear of stepping into this greater purpose with the feminine this lifetime. And so they also have to completely close out that karmic soul contract in order for this clearing process. And so I do feel the energies are absolutely intensifying, and this is going to have to be addressed this week by the masculine when it comes to this soul connection, right? And so a lot of the feminines play a very significant role in the divine masculine's evolution, right? Because we kind of shine that light on the negative vices. And so I do feel that short-term soul connection is coming to a very intense ending in order for these long-term twin flame journeys to come together. So let's dig into the divine feminine side. I hear my little peanut upstairs. She's not going to school this week. I'm keeping her home leading up to surgery just in case. So let's see what needs to come through on the divine feminine side. I'm not done yet, honey. I'm almost done. I'll let you know when I'm done. She's upstairs. So on the feminine side, I love this. Okay, we get reconciliation, meditation practice. So that's just a confirmation of what I've already talked about. So we're going to reiterate this meditation. You definitely want to keep the mind calm and open this week, divine feminine. Spirit is saying daily meditation. Keep yourself centered because a reunion is on the horizon. A reconciliation. And so a lot of the feminines that I've spoken to, we have been in this void. I've not been very motivated for work. It's not that I've not wanted to jump on. I was getting ready to start all of the 12 zodiac signs for the month of July, and it just every second, every turn I took, it was a block, it was a hurdle, it was a challenge, and I had a very busy weekend. And so I do feel the void, right? It's like we've been in this void energy, and that was what I mentioned earlier. And so perceptions are kind of shifting. The feminine, I feel, is being asked to sit in the void, to spend that time alone, to go into quiet introspection, meditation, relax, disconnect from the collective, disconnect from social media, disconnect, just be. And that's what I've been doing, just being in the present moment with the kids and allowing the shift to kind of take place. And so there might be some type of catalyst on your path, or I like to call it kind of like a walk-in. We usually meet like a walk-in or a catalyst that carries almost the exact energetic frequency of the counterpart. And usually this person will come onto the divine feminine's path in order to create the necessary challenging energies to get the masculine to refocus. So you might have some type of catalytic soul person coming to create an energetic challenge on the masculine's end. So I do feel the feminine is really concluding her life lessons. It's kind of like the World card, mastery. I feel the feminine has reached the level of conclusion needing to be reached when it comes to the twin flame lesson. And the feminine has done a lot of deep healing, and that has kind of come to a certain level of completion. Although we can never fully heal, we do the most deep-seated healing in relationship, but the feminine does have to go through the deep healing process. So I do feel like it's kind of time to rip the band-aid off. And so because the feminine has reached a level of healing, we're going to be put to the test. You got to give me a minute, guys. I'm going to pause it and I'll be back. Okay. So as the feminine reaches mastery, this is triggering the divine masculine to address these certain patterns and this situationship. So I do feel all of this negative behavior is being triggered to the surface in order to be course corrected. And so the journey to the higher self. There's a lot of egos being triggered in the masculine collective as the feminine, I feel, fully steps into joy, compassion, gratefulness for the lesson. So this is going to be a week of sacred reverence is what I feel for the feminine, honoring your mind, your body, your soul, the sacredness of this journey. So let's keep going with a few other decks. Give me a minute here. I love the option of being able to pause the recording on this device. So I think that's pretty cool. Okay, so I have gone and I have combined my Lenormand Extended Edition deck with my Kipper deck. So we're going to use this deck next, guys. 3722. That might mean something to somebody, but we're going to dig in onto the masculine side first. Where's the masculine at in the energies throughout the week ahead? Hello, Peanut. My Peanut's downstairs now. Messages on the masculine side. And so this, a couple of these cards that I'm seeing coming through, these came through in a personal reading last night. So where is the masculine at? Well, he's looking a little bit deeper. There's looking everything over. I do feel the masculine is deep in some disillusionment, going down a lot of rabbit holes, and it's kind of like it's holding all of the elements, right? Figuring out a way how to plan to bring forward an offer to the feminine. So we get the dog holding a leash, like the dog card or the puppy card, and the roses. And so 9 is completion. And so the masculine knows it's going to take a lot of toil and labor, a lot of hard work, and a lot of commitment to get the feminine to trust him again. So I do feel the masculine's intentions this week are to come in with a loyal offer. With the Queen of Spades, he knows he's facing the Queen of Swords energy, and he's going to have to come and lay it all on the table, right? And then we get the 10 of Hearts, which would be the 10 of Cups. And this will be worth it because it will lead to that ultimate contentment. And so digging a little bit deeper, 44, breaking down to an 8, and that's the energy of karma. What goes around comes around. It is also a master number. And recognizing, I feel, what's all been stolen from him and choosing to take appropriate action. The official person, kind of like the Emperor. Master number 22. And so also stepping into mastery. So it's kind of like the mirroring, right? The mirroring of the energies. So let's see what needs to come through on the divine feminine's end for the week ahead. Well, there you are, divine feminine. You are the holy truth is what I feel coming through. Did a card flip? No. So the 29, which is the closing of the cycle. And I'll show you the cards in just a minute here, guys. Okay, and I do think there's gossip. There's gossip, right? There's a lot of people talking, Divine Feminine. There you are. You are just radiant, right? You are holding the Ace of Swords. You have the truth on your side, and I do feel you feel this coming, right? You feel this cycle closing. You're just waiting for word. You're waiting to receive word. And then we get the 12 card, or the 7 of Diamonds, which is the 7 of Pentacles. This to me feels like a little bit of gossip surrounding the Divine Feminine. And then we get the snake energy. Queen of Wands energy, the 7, and the snake. So the revelation, the truth. And so I do feel the snake, the karmic's been revealed. And there's a lot of gossip in the community when it comes to this massive family dynamic change and legacy, right? And the death of the karmic cycle. That's also the death, the rebirth energy. And I do feel the masculine, there's been the death of that false contract with the false person. And so there could be a major shift in legacy. There could be a sale home, the loss of a home. But I do feel that final nail in the coffin, Anubis, right? And there comes that main male burning that bridge to go see the Divine Feminine, the main female. And so I do feel in the labyrinth of the mind, but the feminine I feel is just regal, balanced, royal, just awaiting the arrival of the closing of the cycle. And I do feel a lot of people are kind of talking. So let's jump in with a couple tarot cards. There we go. We split the deck. We get the Lovers reversed and the Queen of Swords reversed. So Libra, something about the moon shifting into Libra. It's in Libra right now. Gemini, and then we get the Lovers in reverse. So there's that false person exposed. I also feel, right, the exposure, the blocking. A lot of the karmics try to block the masculine from seeing the poor decision, right? The Lovers reverse basically is a representation of a toxic soul connection, or the Devil card. So we'll see what needs to come through on the Divine Masculine side first. There's that Queen of Wands, so that's a clarification. Should kind of come out in a couple of the cards. So we get the Queen of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles reversed with the King of Pentacles reversed. We got this Queen of Wands upright, and then we get the Hanged Man in reverse. So we get Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Aries, Leo, Sag, Pisces. Page of Cups on the bottom of the deck. And so a lot of the masculine stayed in that contract. All they cared about was materialism. I do feel the Queen of Wands, it has either swindled the masculine out of money or has delayed movement forward because she's financially tried to block movement. I do feel we've got somebody here, though. You see she's kind of wearing a mask. False intentions, maybe immature, childish communication. But I do feel getting unstuck is really what it feels like. There's that new perspective. And so I do feel as Neptune stations retrograde, the shattering of the illusion, right? Let's see if there's any other messages that need to come through on the Divine Masculine side. There could be a huge job loss, a huge loss of fortune, something about Taurus in Jupiter in Taurus. And so if we're not coming from a place of strong-rooted morals, ethics, and values, it will lead to a huge loss. And so delays, challenges, setbacks, and there's that Saturn energy, Sagittarius. And so this is like the bottoming out. This is about losing it all. I feel a lot of the masculine stand to have a lot to lose. This truly is a journey of authenticity. Something about Sagittarius coming through as well. So you might want to pay attention to where Sagittarius falls in your housing side. A lot of the twins have a very strong Sag-Gemini axis placement between the 4th and the 6th house. And so, there's been a lot of strife. There's been a lot of challenging complications, a lot of triggers. And I do feel with Venus and Mars and Leo, the karmic is on fire. She wants attention. She wants it now. She's not going to stop at anything. And this has been a long-standing burden. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Coins, which is carrying a similar energy to this, right? Both facing the same direction. Looking back, are you going to do the right thing, Divine Masculine? Are you going to take the lead? Are you really going to rise as that true benevolent leader? I feel is the question, right? But the King of Coins reversed is somebody very ungrounded, very unstable, definitely not committed for the long haul. I also feel a huge loss in order for a wake-up call. So let's see what needs to come through for the feminine for the week ahead. But I do feel exposure of the false person. And there's that death in reverse came through for the divine feminine. Oh, I like what's kind of coming through on the feminine side. So we get the Five of Cups with the death reverse. So something about Mars and Leo. And I do feel, I have a feeling the moon is going to be shifting into Scorpio. It'll be in Scorpio next weekend. So I feel this is the feminine coming out of a prolonged period of grieving, right? The final release. We spent many years, I know for me, probably the first 3 years of the journey. Why? Understanding the why. Why would you turn your back on a perfect match? Why would you turn your back on somebody that had nothing but pure loving intentions for you? I feel this energy of the feminine coming back to life, releasing any expectations of this turning into some type of legacy. And it's usually when we let go that the manifestation comes in. And so Pluto coming through, Mercury coming through, and the Six of Cups in reversed. And so this really is the energy of the feminine releasing the loss. Also releasing the old patterns, the memories. It could be another release of the memories coming forward from the feminine. But I also feel like this energy of you've done the healing work. You've healed from the family programs. You crushed that matrix, right? The Ten of Pentacles upright is a family legacy, ancestral dynamics as well. You broke free from the patterns, and I know for me it's been a 5-year journey. We're kind of at that midway point, but I feel the feminine, her walls are like dropping, and she's ready. We've waited a long time for this, and so I do feel the feminine is ready to offer her cup. The feminine is grounded and rooted and ready for that lifetime partnership. She's ready for her perfect match, and that is bringing in some type of honest communication or confession. I think get ready for your masculine to come out from the cold. I feel they're praying, they're losing faith. I feel maybe they're ready to embrace the unorthodox traditions that the feminine has instilled in her spiritual life and practice. Something about that full moon in Capricorn and all of the Pisces energy, retrograde, Neptune retrograde in Pisces, Saturn retrograde in Pisces is bringing in a doorway, opportunity, and potential for union. But the masculine is going to have to take action. We do have Venus energy and Aries energy. So, let's get a couple of the agreement messages. I feel within the next 4 days to 4 weeks, there might be some type of confession coming. Ask for what you want. So that is like, we have to clearly decide, right? We have to find the courage to ask for what it is that we want. The masculine has to find the courage to approach the feminine. The masculine is the one to take action. I do feel he's let a lot of outside opinions tell him what is right for him and what is not right for him. But he has to choose for himself. And so I do feel the masculine might be coming forward and asking for forgiveness, and you will have the right to say yes or no, divine feminine. So that will be entirely up to you. I feel role reversal. So is there any other advice cards that the twins need to hear? So cultivate faith. That's a big one. The Lotus energy. So The feminine is here to cultivate faith. And that's where we derive our power, right? With faith and intention. And so when our will to honor this divine contract is undivided, I do feel doubt will be dissipated on the masculine's polarity. And then we get seek to know the truth, and that's the energy of the Akashic records and the higher guides bringing in this truth. And so a lot of the masculines believed all of these negative opinions about the divine feminine in their social circle. And they made a karmic agreement, and they allowed this to be a part of their toxic belief system. And so they have to break this karmic agreement in order to build a new one based on authenticity and truth with the divine feminine. Because the only thing that has the power to set us free as a collective is truth. Truth is the way. Truth is the answer, right? And so we all have the ability to be impeccable with our words, and to realize the power of what we speak. We have immense powers as twins to create through our words, and this is a gift that comes from God, right? So are you willing to ignore the opinions of others? Because we're being asked to assume nothing at this time. Don't assume what the masculine has to say. The masculine shouldn't be assuming what it is the feminine wants. When we make assumptions, that is a surefire way to bring in all kinds of chaos and conflict, right? So if we don't ask for what we want, if we don't speak up and we just make assumptions, then there really is no resolution. It really does take a lot of open communication. I know the feminines have felt hurt by what the masculines did, by what the masculines said. And they really don't know what to do at this point in time. A lot of the feminines, we spend a long time asking ourselves, how could they do that to us? How could they do that? And you don't know what you know until you know it. And so I do feel right now we're being asked to release unnecessary worry, and to understand, like, real love is acceptance. Accepting that the masculine was the way he was. We're not here to try and change the divine masculine. We're here to change ourselves. And if they choose to change, then that's great. But I do feel the feminine is ready. She knows what it is that she wants. She knows who she's picked as her counterpart. And instead of us trying to change that person, we have to transform and be that light for the counterpart, right? So I do feel freedom. Freedom is around the corner, but we have to choose to release the fear first and foremost. And so that's kind of what I got for the week ahead, guys. I hope this helped. I hope this resonated. If you would like to book a personal or a soulmate reading with me, check out the description box below. This is probably all you're going to hear from me for the week ahead. I probably won't be back on until Friday or next weekend, if even then, because of the crazy busy schedule I have. I will be posting, though. I will be offering a second online tarot class. I have 2 weeks left of the current class, and then I will be starting up another class. So if you'd like to join that, also feel free to shoot me an email from the description box below. I hope you all have a good week ahead, and I do look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.